stickers for you guys.
That's right. You can go home real quick. There's no traffic. You can go home right now.
Dude, I'm not going to deal with that again. If I go that way, I'm staying over there. You guys got me till 8.
Yeah. Okay. We'll ask away. What does that mean? Testing 1, 2. We're starting up behind the headphones page. You can see me live right here on my page. We appreciate it. We got the legendary Jose SHUTON right here, moving along. We also have Twitch. Thank you behind the headphones right there. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 12, Behind the Headphones. We're so grateful and honored to have this LA legend right here, Jose SHUTON. How do you say your last name?
Well, you know what? My cousin's pronouncing SHUTON, and I pronounce it shootin'.
Shootin'. So there you go. Shootin' tootin'.
But
this
it's
DJ
actually, it's the correct way is SHUTON.
SHUTON, right there. Okay, people. So, LA legend. He's been around since the 80s. You can see him every week. This guy is everywhere, and we're grateful and honored to have him here today. Jose, thank you for being on the show.
Hey, you're welcome. It's an honor too. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
So, what was it like being as a kid?
It was cool. You know, did normal cool stuff. You know, kid stuff. I was all into BMX and riding motocross. So that's kind of like what I grew up with and kept me out of trouble.
Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in South Pasadena.
Nice.
And then in my teenage years, pretty much El Sereno.
You went to school there?
I went to South Pasadena junior high, South Pasadena High School, and then in my 11th grade year, I transferred to Franklin. And so I graduated from Franklin, and I went to Cal State LA, and that's pretty much it as far as.
What was your major? PE?
No, actually, I was a. No, I was actually kind of smart. Kind of went away, but yeah, I was a English and history major.
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right on, man.
I was kind of a nerd.
What age did you start doing the motocross and dirt biking?
Let's see. I started racing and riding.
Oh wow,
Well,
racing.
I mean, I started off riding. I was like 4 years old. Had a little mini bike, and then I got into 80s, and I was racing 80s like when I was I don't know, about like 12, 13 years old, and then I got into 125s, and during that time, I mean, it's an expensive sport,
Yeah.
you know, so I really wasn't able to afford it. I was having some family issues and stuff, but then I got really into BMX, so I was racing BMX for a while. I used to do the whole national series,
Wow.
all the nationals
that's
in
dope.
Southern California and stuff.
Dope.
So yeah, I was heavily into that.
Nice.
And what stopped that is when I went to a party one day in East LA, and
I'm gonna park my bike right here.
yeah, and I got into DJing.
Nice.
So when I started DJing, you know, I couldn't get up on Sunday mornings to go riding and racing because of, you know, partying all night on Saturday nights,
Yeah.
and that ended that career. And
How old were you?
at the time, I was 19.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, 19
Right on.
when I got into DJing.
So what song did it for you?
You know, the first song that I ever heard, because you got to understand, I mean, I'm not being racist or anything like that, but I growing up in South Pasadena, it's a white neighborhood. It's more of an upper class
course,
yeah.
white neighborhood, and it was something completely different than the East Side scene. You know, parties in South Pasadena were not like the parties that you see on the East Side.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
parties in South Pas were like, you know, little get-togethers, kind of like what we're doing right now.
Valet parking.
Yeah. You know, they went.
Someone's mom's in the front. Honey, I'm here to get you.
Yeah, we would just listen to the radio and listen to rock,
That's cool.
and you know, we would drink and get drunk, and that was the extent of it. And then one day I got taken to a party in Alhambra. There was a band and DJ, and I had never seen anything like that. And that was the first time I heard "Spin It,"
There it is.
and I was like, "What the hell is that?" You know, and because I just tripped out on the way it sounded. I had never heard anything like that. And then I got taken to a party in East LA, and kind of off of Whittier Boulevard near Garfield. And when we walked in, all I saw were these huge speakers, and then this guy behind two turntables, and I couldn't understand what he was doing. So I was just standing there while my friends were checking out chicks, getting drunk, and I just stood there in front of the DJ booth, like
Mesmerized.
trying to figure out what he was doing, and I was hooked. And I was like, you know what, that day, you know, I was blown away by the sound, first of all, from the bass bottoms, and, you know, everybody was on Survey Vegas at the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the V32s
And,
and all
yeah,
that.
B35s, B36s, and then the light show, you know, like I said, I had never seen anything like that, and I was like, I want to be a DJ, and the rest.
Do you
is
remember that
pretty much
DJ's name?
history. Actually, I don't.
What was he
But-
playing?
He was playing disco, you know.
Disco.
Yeah, and then this was like in probably like 1984,
Oh, okay.
around that time. But the first DJ that I actually sat there and is when I went to Franklin High School, and they hired to do a dance was Tony Largo.
Nice.
At the time, he was Tony Morales, you know, under ballet.
Oh,
You know,
it
at the
was ballet.
time, way
Wasn't he
back.
Pegasus and stuff like that.
No, he was. I think he was ballet, and then he was. I forgot what else. But you know, I've actually had that discussion with Tony. You know, Tony's a friend, and I told him, I go, because of you, you're one of the reasons why I became a DJ, because just the music he was playing and just how awesome it sounded inside the Franklin gym. You know, and I was just blown away by it. I mean, that was all like really, really new to me. You know, because like I said, growing up in South Pasadena, it was just a different world, completely different world, and
Night and day.
yeah, then just going, you know, all it was just crossing a bridge, and the whole lifestyle, you know, of the kids in high school, just everything was completely different,
Yeah.
you know.
From Starbucks to Elotes.
Yeah, you know,
I don't think there was Starbucks.
Coffee bean.
but if you ever see the movie Pretty in Pink,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
kind of like that. You know, you have your rich kids,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you had kind of like your misfits,
Yeah, yeah.
and it was a clash, you know. And that's really kind of the way it was. I mean, for me in the '80s, you know, it was that kind of a, you know, just the shock in the difference of the way the kids grew up on this side and the way the kids grew up on across the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, totally different, just completely different.
So that's what took you right there, was just the East LA scene.
Basically, yeah. And then, you know, I befriended a lot of kids in El Sereno, and, you know, when I started practicing and learning how to DJ, I was buying records, and then I don't know if you know Danny Debonair,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, Awesome Foursome and all those guys.
Willie Guilty and all that.
Willie Guilty. So I grew up with Willie and his family. Actually, his uncle Marty, you know, passed away a few years back. Those are the guys that basically taught me how to mix, how to DJ.
Nice.
Yeah,
So-
Willie's cool people.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Willie is honestly probably one of the top 3 DJs I know, you know, in all my life. And I had the opportunity to DJ with him last Saturday.
Oh, right
You
on.
know, we did the thing for Danny Poison at Cities.
Nice.
So, I mean, that was, you know, it's always a treat to see, you know, Willie and DJ alongside, you know, with Willie.
Right on. So, when did you start doing actual gigs? Like, you know, or yeah.
Well, you know, back then, I know it's a lot different now, but back then, you know, you had to know how to beat match.
Yeah.
You had to know how to count the breaks.
should still know how to do
and-
that.
Yeah.
Still know that still now. Oh,
Well, I mean, you know, nowadays, especially in the scene that I'm a part of, you know, in the dark wave scene, the goth
Yeah.
scene, you have a lot of DJs that don't know how to mix.
Now you have
You know,
to.
they play one track and it
Cut it.
ends, and then they throw in the next one. And you know, back then, you know, I practiced and practiced and practiced, and I finally did like a little chicken shit house party. And from there, you know, like I said, I became friends with Danny and all those guys. And Danny's actually the guy who gave me my first break. Him and Mike Flores.
Mike
Flores.
Flores. Yeah.
So Mike
Media
Flores-
Circus.
Yeah, so
Jinx.
Mike Flores is the first guy that it's funny because we reconnected a few years back, and I totally forgot about him. And he's like, hey, Jose, he contacted me on Facebook, and he sent me the flyer that he put me on. He goes, I'm the guy that put you on your first flyer. And he sent me the
Nice.
flyer. And back then I used to go under Guess. So I was Jose Guess. That was my
Right on.
disco name.
there you guys know. Now you know.
Yeah. So he was actually the first guy that put me on a flyer. So I was doing a lot of El Sereno house parties.
Okay.
And then Danny at that time, I think with Danny Poison and the Gentleman and all those guys, they started throwing events at the Hong Kong Cafe. So he booked me at the Hong Kong Cafe. So I had the opportunity to DJ at the Hong Kong Cafe with Danny and Danny Poison and all those guys. You know, that whole scene from back in the 80s. And then basically the rest is history. You know, I did, you know, for a few years, I did, you know, the whole El Sereno house party scene. I would play at the Lodge at Elysian Park.
Yeah.
various other places. But then after that, I guess you could say my first real big gig, where it was kind of continuous for a while, was around 1990, 91, 92, when they started having events at Caddy's in Alhambra.
Nice.
And that was on Friday nights. I mean, that place was freaking packed. Super packed. I mean, I would get there roughly 6:30 because we would take system to kind of support the house system. So I would take my Servant Vega B36s, and I'd be getting there around 6:30, 7 o'clock to set up. There would already be a line to get in.
Damn.
On a Friday night.
Those are the good days.
Yeah,
right
those
there.
were the good days. The good days. And anybody who was a DJ at that time, in the East Side scene, when house music was first coming out and the techno thing, they had guys like Tony, of course, playing. All the DJs of that time, of that era, were there. And, I got a chance to play a little bit, because I was still kind of like up and coming
Right on.
at the
Nice.
time.
Right on,
Yeah.
dude. Were your parents supportive of your move in regards to this? I mean, breaking away from the BMX into DJing? I mean, what was going on?
Well,
right
just to
there?
make the long story short with that, my dad passed away when I was 16. So, and then my mom, that's a different story. She was MIA, at that time, and so me, my two brothers, and my sister, we basically raised ourselves.
Got it.
So, and luckily, the motocross, the BMX, and the DJing actually is what kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
That's good. Sports
Yeah.
usually do.
Yeah.
Sports usually keep you off the streets. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What's your greatest strength or weakness, man?
I'd say my biggest weakness is and a lot of people will tell you this, I'm a procrastinator. I'm kind of an airhead sometimes. But I guess that's pretty much it. As far as strengths, I'm that guy that's always going to try harder than most. And I do have a kind of like a no quit attitude.
That's good.
And do I care what other people think about me? Yes, I do to a certain extent, but in the end, I really don't. Because it's about what I'm, whatever I'm setting out to do. I'm going to do my best to achieve it.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
We have a question from one of our viewers. Suave said, "Did Frank drop out?"
Frank who?
I don't know.
Okay, next question.
I don't know who's Frank.
Yeah, exactly. Help us out here, Suave. What makes you happy?
You know what? Honestly, of course, my kids. Just
Tell us about them.
Well, I have a son. His name's Jaime. He goes under DJ James Andrew,
Nice.
and he's my firstborn, and he's also a DJ. He's been DJing, with Stephen Christopher. I'm sure a lot of you guys know who he is.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's also been DJing.
I've DJed with him.
Yeah, he's DJed with me at the Offbeat and other places, but now he's also playing at the Conga Room on Saturdays.
Nice.
So I guess I don't know him, but I know of him. DJ Juice. So
Yes.
I guess he's taking him under his wing.
Okay.
Playing at several places. So I'm happy that he's. It's not that I wanted him to be a DJ, but as a dad, I was teaching him, and I was,
Of course.
I figured, hey, this is something where you can make extra money, and I think you would be good at it, and now he's doing what he's doing.
And a dad is a legend. It helps too. You know what I mean? For sure.
I guess, but I'm just glad that he's on his own path, and
Creating his
and-
own avenue.
Yeah, he's creating
Pretty
his
much,
own
yeah,
avenue.
He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, and then I have a daughter. She's 26, and she's an RN.
Right on.
So I'm very proud of both of them.
Nice,
I'm one of the lucky guys that was able to have two kids that were no trouble. They were good in school. My son went to Cathedral. He played high school.
Oh, nice school.
My daughter was a cheerleader at Sure, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I've been blessed by God. With what I've been given.
Right on.
Yeah.
Has your style in music changed from when you first started getting into the DJ until now?
Yeah, it's actually changed. Initially, in the beginning, what I was doing, because in the beginning when I started playing, it was the disco thing, the high energy thing, So it was, buying those records because, like I said, I had never heard them except at parties and stuff. And to me, it was like, wow, this is, cool stuff. But at the same time, I was always a new wave guy. I was always a K-rock guy, even before DJing and stuff. So actually, the first record that I ever bought, and I mentioned this many times, was Get the Balance Right from Depeche Mode.
Nice.
So my mixes were always, you know, kind of like a mix of new wave and high energy disco. You know, and
That's it. It goes.
it goes together. You know, same BPM. You know, 125, 127 around that ballpark and stuff. And then from there, you know, that the whole '80s scene was basically new wave and high energy. And then once the '90s hit, you know, I was still doing that, but then I was getting into kind of like the '90s techno at that time.
Right on.
You know,
OG shit right there.
But I always stayed true to the new wave thing.
Yeah.
You know, that was just something that
seems to be you. That's your forte.
Yeah. So then, you know, going through the '90s, and I did Club Roca. Then I was DJing at the Stock Exchange for like 3 years.
Nice.
So you know, that was amazing, an amazing time at the time. You know, Robert Risque is actually the guy who got me in there because he was DJing there at the time, and so he would let me do a set. So I would, you know, maybe do like 2 sets of a half hour, and then I ended up getting the side room at the Stock Exchange. So I would take System to that little side room, and so we'd be, you know, playing music in there, and then we'd alternate, and
That's
you
cool.
know, so it was a good time. And at that time, I was doing, of course, you know, I would do a set of, you know, new wave, I'll throw some disco, and then everybody was into the whole trance thing at the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, so then my music kind of changed at that time. And I kind of took like a little break towards the early 2000s. At the time I was married and I was trying to, you know, be a good husband and, you know, all that kind of crazy
trying,
stuff.
honey.
Yeah, I tried, you know. And just to make the long story short, I got back into it like around 2005, 2006 because I went through a divorce.
Yeah.
You know, so then I was back in it. And at the time, that's when I became really good friends with Joe Leva and Harry Kell. And of course, Robert was, you know.
Wasn't that the same time like Vertigo and stuff like that?
Yeah, so what happened was Joe Leva and Herrick started booking me at Vertigo's. So I guess the last 2-3 years before they ended up closing Vertigo's is when I was actually playing there like once or twice a month.
With Kaza, right? Wasn't Kaza there too all the time?
He might have been in the other room, but I was there with I would play there, of course, with Herrick and Joe Leva, Robert Miranda, you know, of course, the legend Robert Miranda.
Yeah.
I played there with Robert. And then at the time I was also doing Bordellos, you know, with Herrick. You know, so we did that was like a good 2-year run.
Yeah.
You know, and that was on Fridays. And then that's when I started doing Route 66 with Robert in Highland Park. You know, and at the time it was more of a, for me, as far as the music I was playing, I was doing more of course, of an alternative set. You know, I was doing and then at that time, there was a genre of music called electroclash, like the Miss Kitten and Felix the House Cat, that kind of music.
Yeah, that's some.
Yeah, so that a lot of that stuff was they would sample a lot of like Bobby O stuff.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so that was that type of music at that time. So I got really, really into that.
Right on.
And you know, to this day, I'm still playing that. So then, you know, as far as the change in music, then in like in the mid, I think around 2014, 2015, I kind of got bored with the new wave thing. You know, so I ended up reaching out to the scene. You know, they were called Batcave, and they would basically throw all like the goth scenes, and goth clubs in LA. And the first time I went, I was freaking blown away by it. You know, because I'm talking.
Yeah, they have a whole.
The whole BDSM scene and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I told myself I got to be a part of this.
Yeah.
You know, because it wasn't just the scene, but it was the type of music that they were playing.
Correct.
You know, a lot of it was goth, a lot of it was industrial, a lot of the dark wave stuff. So I reached out to the main guy, and I didn't think he was ever going to respond to me. And he ended up responding to me like 2-3 months later, and he goes, "All right, come down, you know, check out the club." And that's when they were throwing it at that club in Silver Lake. I forgot the name of it. And
Rudolfo's?
No. Shoot.
The one on the corner?
No, it's that one club. I don't think they're throwing it anymore, but I forgot the name of it. But
Zen?
No, it was like on Temple or Third or somewhere down there.
Okay.
It'll come to me. But then they would throw big events like at the Globe Theater in downtown, and they would throw it at 333 in downtown.
I remember that.
So they had, you know, easily 1,000 to maybe 1,200 people at their events.
Nice.
You know, and the way everybody would go dressed up, and they were all theme parties. You know, so they
Nice.
would have like a Mad Max theme party, and you know, everybody would go dressed up like in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, but these weren't like little cheesy outfits. You know, they were like, you know, they would go all out.
They were, yeah.
You know,
to
and
the
they would
full
have
nines.
and they would have like a dark circus event,
Wow.
or they would have like a Tim Burton night.
Oh, nice.
You know, just different themes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it wasn't just the style of the event; it was also the music. So they ended up giving me a chance. You know, and I ended up playing in one of the rooms, the side room, and I wasn't in the main room because the main room was always mainly industrial, and the side room was more dark wave and, you know, other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So little by little, you know, once I started playing for them, I started getting, you know, booked every time they had an event.
Nice.
And
nice.
then little by little, I started, you know, getting the better time. I kind of had to work my way up from the bottom again,
Yeah.
even though it was later on in my DJ career. And
Nothing wrong with that, though.
no,
you gotta put in work a little
exactly,
bit.
you know,
sometimes-
you got to pay your dues. It was a totally different scene, totally different promoters that, you know, I never knew of.
Correct.
You know, it wasn't an East Side scene.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it was more of a Hollywood, you know, LA.
Underground.
Yeah, more underground type of scene.
I think that's more of a vibe. You know what I mean?
And then my big break, you know, with them is we're at the Globe Theater and they threw an event called the Bondage Ball.
Uh-oh.
And they put me on the main stage.
Nice.
And I couldn't freaking believe it, you know. So, you know, I mean, I'm very thankful, you know, for the opportunities that have been given to me, and, you know, I'm always going to bring my A game, you know, for them. You know, if somebody books me for a big event, I'm going to give it my all.
Of course.
You know, I'm going to prepare my music, you know, make sure I've got my mixes down right, especially for something like that.
Yeah.
Because I was still the new guy, you know. And then after that, they started putting me in the dark wave room, also in the main room. So, and then little by little, I became one of the 3 main DJs in that scene.
Oh, that's dope.
So, you know, so it was a cool time, you know, and this was all before COVID, but you know, aside from that, I was still doing the events with Robert. You know, we would still throw our gigs. You know, I was still doing the offbeat, doing other stuff. You know, so it wasn't just the dark wave goth scene. I was still doing, you know, the new wave stuff. I was still doing house events sometimes, and sometimes I'd get booked for disco events. So,
Yeah.
you know,
You can play it all, man.
yeah, it's everything but hip hop
Yes.
or reggaeton.
Yeah. That's
What?
Ricky
What is
Medina
that?
said.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that?
Is that crap at the Rose Bowl right now?
What's your favorite food?
Well, let's see. I'm half Chinese and half Mexican, and I actually like both. So Chinese and Mexican food.
Nice.
There
Nice.
it is.
Yeah.
Right on. So what's new? Is there anything gonna, you know, are you moving forward like with big events or production? What's next for you?
I mean, as far as how it's been the last couple years, I guess for now it's just, you know, I take the gigs as they come. If it's something that I want to do, of course, besides the offbeat, because I'm there every Friday. That's something, like I said, that me and Robert do, and I'm committed to that every Friday. But in addition to that, I still do a lot of goth events, dark wave stuff, and I'm doing it with different promoters. You know, these are the guys who are throwing pretty much the events in Southern California.
Right on.
You know,
That's dope.
I'm actually going to be playing in TJ next month.
Whoa.
There's a
That's
band
dope.
coming from Europe. I don't know if you heard of them, but Lebanon Hanover. They're a very popular darkwave band, and they're going to be performing in TJ. So I'm going to be part of the pre-party in Tijuana, and the concert's on Sunday. So, you know, the whole LA goth darkwave scene is going to go down there.
Nice.
And so I've been asked to play. So, you know, things like that, you know, come across my plate.
Yeah.
You know, I've done some, you know, fairly big events for like Antonio Palayo.
Yeah.
You know, I do stuff for
Yeah,
him
too.
every once in a while. I do stuff for Pierre Cannon, you know, his disco events. I do
Nice.
stuff for RG. You know, they throw some of the bigger disco events, you know, in LA.
Yeah.
You know, I'm still part of, like I said, the dark wave goth scene. I do a lot of stuff with Devotional, the Depeche Mode Experience.
Devotional Dave.
Yeah, so I do a lot of events with them. I DJ'd with them in Atlanta a couple months ago. So sometimes not only, you know, do I open up for them before they go on, sometimes they put me in the band, you know, behind the keyboards. So yeah,
Just go like this.
yeah.
you
So
go.
I'm doing my Milli Vanilli up there, you know, and
Girl, you know it's true.
yeah. So I mean, it's been a cool trip. You know, it's been fun. You know, I have a regular career, of course, but you know, the DJing.
So what do you do?
I manage a law firm, you know, down in Fullerton, So every day I drive out to Fullerton.
Wow, bless your heart.
And like today, you guys know what I went through. It took me
Yeah.
fucking 2.5
Damn
hours
Carol
to get here.
G.
He showed up stressed. I was like,
Fucking Dodger game and who
Yeah.
knows what
hey,
else.
one Modelo.
Forest fires.
Yeah. And then a storm coming in, so it seems like everybody's
Yeah,
trying to go
right?
inland. You know, so
Stocking
I mean,
up on toilet paper again.
yeah. So traffic, traffic is something else.
What's the what do you say to the up and comers? What skill do you need to be a DJ?
Well, first, number one, you got to be able to beat match. It's number one.
You're not
You
the only
know.
one who have said that here.
That's honestly that's the number one thing. I mean, if you want to be a DJ, that's like the first thing. And there's been DJs that I've taught, and I tell them all the time, I'm going to teach you on house and I'm going to teach you on high energy disco because those are two easiest thing to mix.
Yeah.
And once you understand how to put the two songs together where they're on beat, once you've mastered that, then we'll get into the breaks and taking apart a song, and you got to be able to know how to read a song, and then after that I tell them, don't play what I play, you decide what you want to play, because
Yeah.
what I'm teaching you now are the basics for whether it be new wave, whether it be house, techno, rock en español. If you want to play hip hop, all the rules are still the same.
Yeah.
That's how I normally teach it, and I'd like to say that most of the people that I've taught, are pretty good damn DJs.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Shout out to Theo for tuning in. He said he's looking forward to playing with you tonight.
Yeah, I'll see him in about an hour.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tuned
Right
in.
on, Theo. Thanks for watching,
Yeah.
bro.
Hey, thanks for joining us tonight, Theo.
That's for sure. Absolutely, man. We've
Yeah.
had some cool people on this show. What was I gonna say here? Oh, what did you besides becoming a DJ and everything else? You said you've played with some heavy hitters and stuff like that. Who's been your favorite DJ you've played with?
Ooh, in which genre?
Whatever comes to your mind.
Okay. I hope I don't hurt anybody's feelings.
No, this is
There's no clicks here.
Look, I mean, I look at it
clicks
this way.
here. There's no clicks.
With DJs, I mean, I respect all DJs. And there's DJs that are my favorite. So let's go with the disco scene. With the disco scene, my favorite DJ of all time, he passed away, of course, was Frank Del Rio.
Absolutely.
Frank Del Rio was basically
legend,
the
man.
ultimate.
Yeah, the ultimate.
Yeah, and then you have like who I mentioned earlier, Willie Guilty. In the dark wave, new wave, post punk scene, my favorite DJ is Ezer. He's one that he's the guy that throws the Breakfast Club on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
He's all over the place as well. My favorite house techno DJ is Orlando. He's my favorite DJ. He's a good friend.
He's
You
been
know,
here too, man.
Yeah, we talk a lot of shit together, but he's. I like his style of. I like the way he mixes, and I like the style of music he plays. So he really is my favorite.
Hooligans.
Yeah, and
Yeah. That's it.
another DJ, my favorite DJ who's I would say he's not open format, but he's very creative and very stylist. Is Joey Radical.
Yeah, he's good.
Joey Radical is I mean he just the way he plays. He's the most creative DJ that I know.
His set list is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Sometimes, dude.
he's all over the freaking map.
Yeah.
All over the map.
That's dope.
As far as the weirdest DJ, as far as the stuff he plays, is Frankie Medina.
Right.
He's the stuff that he does, and I'm just like, where did you get that from? And it's the way he puts it together. It's very theatrical.
Correct.
I would. I
He
think
knows
that's
his music. That's for sure.
yeah. I think that's the best way to describe his style of music. The smoothest DJ that I know, as far as when it comes to watching him mix and the way he plays, is actually Robert Risque. Robert is he's a perfectionist. It's so fucking annoying sometimes. But he's a perfectionist. So when he's up there DJing, you're always gonna see very smooth transitions.
Yeah.
Very, very smooth. But in addition to that, like I said, I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling. I think everybody that I've DJed with and who I DJ with, and luckily, I've had the opportunity to DJ with all these guys. AJ's an awesome, DJ. Suave is an awesome DJ. He cracks me up, and especially when him and Frankie are going at it.
Yeah, all the time.
You're an awesome DJ. I've heard you
thank you,
play
man.
numerous times.
Thank you.
There's those are the ones that have made an impact on me, and where I can say, you know, these are the guys. Oh, and then one more. One DJ that had a big, you know, impact on me is Joe Leva. I learned a lot from Joe Leva because, you know, he's one of the original Vertigo DJs as well. And a lot of the alternative music that I got turned on was from him. And he has a very trippy way of DJing, the way he mixes his music. And, you know, he's somebody that I've always, you know, when I'm playing music, when I'm playing in my head, I'm always thinking, all right, what would this DJ play? Or how would this guy do it? You know, all those things are going in my head.
Right on.
You know, especially because, you know, in one set I could do a set of house, techno, darkwave, goth, you know, disco, you know, and I'm kind of mixing it all together, you know.
So, being pressed for time, I'm only going to ask you 2 more questions, and I think my partner is going to ask you one as well. My first to last question is, what would you change in the industry?
Changing the industry.
The DJ scene.
One, I mean, I don't know if this really applies maybe to your question, but one thing that I don't like is the fact that, you know, guys like me that have been in the industry for so long, where, you know, we practice for days and hours and months and weeks and years, you know, to even get an opportunity, you know, at some of these venues that we play at. And I see how easy it is for this younger scene that don't take the time to practice, don't take the time to really learn their craft, are getting shots, are getting opportunities.
Right?
You know, they're getting opportunities where
It boggles the mind sometimes.
yeah, it took us, like I said, years to get to where we're at. You know, and that kind of goes, kind of what I said earlier about, you know, I just try harder, I work harder at it. You know, I try to find ways of, I got to get in that freaking club. Somehow I got to get in there, you know, and I just see a lot of DJs nowadays, and like I said, it's not the guys you know, that we know. It's more of the younger scene, and I see how, you know, they didn't pay their dues. They don't know their music. They don't know how to beat match. They don't know how to do shit. You know, they're basically just, you know,
That's
transitioning.
it, man. That's their best friend.
You know, and I'm not being a hater. You know,
No.
I just think, I always think back at how.
But it's the
You
truth.
know,
You have
a
to
lot
do
of
your
us-
work, man. It's sad how it blows us by.
Yeah.
Bandit.
Right on. So where can the followers catch you and follow you?
Exactly. Your music and stuff.
Okay, I have a few mixes on Mixcloud and SoundCloud. You can find me under DJ Jose Shuton. That's SHUTON. Yeah, I have a few on Mixcloud and a few on SoundCloud. I'm actually working on a couple of new ones that I want to upload. And most of the stuff that I have on there is more of a kind of like a dark wave, dark techno style, more industrial, you know, different mixes for, you know, but they're all basically along that type of sound.
Last question. What's your favorite movie?
I like Kill Bill 1.
That's a good movie.
That's a
Filmed
great
around here.
movie.
Was it filmed by your house, South Pasadena? Hold on.
Was it? I
Kill
don't
Bill
know.
was-
I had no clue.
Yeah. Quentin likes to stay around here, man.
I like
That's for
I
sure.
like Terminator 2. You know, I like stupid movies like that. You know.
That's a
Right on.
great movie.
Yeah.
Last question.
I'm
You're good?
brother. Yeah, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank Jose so much for he has a gig tonight, so we're even appreciative that he's even here. We're so grateful again. He's going to do a little mix for us before he goes off. Again, Jose, thank you for being
Oh, you're
behind
welcome.
the headphones.
You're
we thank
welcome.
you
Thanks
so
for
very,
your-
very
for your
much.
time, brother.
Ladies and
Okay.
gentlemen, stay tuned for his mix. It's coming up.
Great.
Up next, DJ REZA.
I'm assuming you guys control the volume.
Yeah, we're going to turn the... I don't know why my camera keeps going.
You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy.
1-2. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jose SHUTON Mix. He's going goth tonight, baby. Behind the headphones. Up next, DJ REZA.
You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want an emergency. You can call me if you want an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. Emergency.
Testing 1 2. We have DJ REZA warming up, but you know what? I think he should just keep going because he's already got the groove. We'll interview him right after. DJ REZA.
babe is mine. Who knows what that the diplomacy necessary to stop world war may not be in this baby's mind. We must. We must. We must. We must. It didn't happen yesterday. We must. It hasn't happened today. We must save our world.
hitters, man. Next up, Frank Nitty.
So many times.
you what's up next. And we already got Frank Nitty in the house. Frank Nitty's in the house.
How's the volume? How's the volume? Can you hear okay?
Do I gotta talk into the mic or?
You want to put your headphones on and see how it sounds to you? Because that's how it's going to sound to them.
All right, how we doing? Oh, we're doing great over here.
Really?
Yeah,
good,
my
right?
loud voice.
I
Yes.
mean, can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Right on.
Yeah, you can hear it.
Yeah, how about you put these on? No. Because I'm loud.
So, what's it? So, Reza.
I'm loud and I'm deaf. So that makes it even better.
More. Don't worry.
I need like 2 monitors on each side.
Don't forget to please sign your name before you go.
Will do.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having
Frank,
me.
you're going to sign your name too? Absolutely. Okay.
Yes.
So we're just waiting for Bandit. He'll be out any second right now. And then, again, whatever camera. Twitch is in the middle. This one right here is the main one
I
right
pay
here.
attention to the middle.
Right on.
And then
Yeah,
I'll
but the
focus
people
right
are-
here,
yeah,
little
the people
stuff.
are watching.
Everybody on Instagram and
So we're good.
Facebook and what else?
Twitch, Instagram. That's it. We have 2 pages.
Twitch and Instagram.
Yeah. Bandit's
right.
page, behind the headphones, and then my page.
Oh, all right, we're in.
I gotta move that camera just a hair.
If I start singing, that's just me, all right?
Well, it should be him. He's the one with the chance. Go ahead, have a seat, bro.
Cheers, Bandit.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for all your guys' work. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we're
Happy
trying,
birthday,
man.
brother.
We're putting some work in, that's for sure. We are putting in work.
That's what it's all about.
You got to.
That's the fun part.
Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Behind the Headphones, episode 12. We had Jose SHUTON earlier, giving us some gothic music. He'll be at Offbeat Bar tonight. But sitting next to me is another house legend right here. He's been around the block. He's got much love, especially coming from Frank NITTY right here. Today's his B-Day, so give him a shout out. No, it's tomorrow in San Diego. So he gave us a little birthday surprise for us as well.
Yes, and thank
DJ
you for having me.
Absolute Reza, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, my friend. So in regards to the DJ life, what was your very first DJ equipment?
Wow. I think it was 2 cassette players and late night recording Boris and Chris on Power 106.
And what kind of system was that? Radio Shack, Pioneer, what did you have? Sony?
I think Sanyo.
That's even old school right there. That's probably the best system.
Tell you the truth, it was back. I had turntables since I was young, and I was always buying records. And I didn't really start DJing out till about 1995.
How old were you?
In 95? Wow. How old was I? I was born in 74, so,
So you're
19,
21?
21?
21.
There you go.
Do you still collect vinyl?
I do. You know, I love vinyl. I've got walls and walls of it. It's my most favorite.
Right?
Yes.
I love it.
Because nothing
Vinyl-
beats the sound of
vinyls don't go
vinyl.
anywhere.
Nothing has the depth and the bass, and nothing gives you the sound of the warmth as vinyl.
We just heard that.
A little bit.
We got a lot of warmth from you right there, man.
Yes.
Just some
Yes.
hot tracks.
Thank you.
So, what is your greatest strength and what's your greatest weakness?
My greatest strength is love, and my greatest weakness is I don't know it.
Okay, well, you don't have
I'm not
one.
weak to anything. I'm a Leo lion, which means weakness to
You're
me
on the
just
prowl.
means weakness just to means prey. That just makes me want to eat more.
What made you want to become
Food
a
is my
DJ?
weakness. Food.
Oh, we'll get to that question. No doubt right here. We have a menu right here.
I think that's all our weakness. Jeez. Who
Bandit.
doesn't love good food, right?
Oh, you, man.
So, what age did you start getting into the whole DJ thing? Like, what brought it to your attention? Like, wow.
You know, I was collecting records since I was probably 13 years old, and I was buying records. I was going to all the record shops, digging in the crates, buying records, going home, making myself mixes, just playing for myself. I was the bedroom DJ for myself because I loved it.
What song
Yeah.
did it for you?
I used to play freestyle,
Nice.
disco. I mean, they call it Miami bass. I call it California freestyle. Some people call it Aquanet music. I mean, I have all that stuff from vinyl.
You still have it from?
I still
from
have
back-
it.
Good
That's
man.
dope.
From
Fuck
Depeche,
yeah.
from all the original New Wave, New Order, everything you could think of. I have it all on vinyl.
That's dope.
What school did you go to?
I went to Warren High School, and before that, I went to Fulton Junior High School.
Oh, so you grew up in Orange County area?
No, the Valley. The Valley for junior high school. Then I left to Dubai for a year, and I lived in Dubai.
Wow, very cool.
And then I came back and did the last of my 11th and then my senior year at Warren High in Downey.
Oh, Downey. Yeah. There's a lot of guests have come from either Southgate or Lakewood that have been on their show. That's for sure. It seems like there's a presence of DJs off the 710. You know what I mean?
Yes, I grew up with a lot of my peers. Some of them have passed away. Big rest in peace to Mr. Flashback. And some of my peers that I went to high school with, doing parties with, like Dr. Cisco and even Johnny Aftershock and
Right on.
Alex I and Mr. Peabody. There was a lot of us. My partner, Herrick Hell, who's still doing events.
We're trying to get that guy.
Yeah, Herrick's
He's
amazing.
a hard catch.
And we did the 1990s parties together for years. We were some of the original people to do the warehouse break-in parties. That's kind of where the LA underground scene on the east side started, is
Very cool.
our parties.
Right on. dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why you're a legend, man. Absolutely. And we're grateful again that you're here telling us these stories. What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? Wow. I don't think I have a favorite because I love all food. But I love Korean. I love Thai. I love Persian food. I think it's my favorite cuisine. I can say Persian.
Absolutely. Bandit.
Out of all the places you've played, what has been the most memorable one for you?
Monster Massive. Closing out the main stage,
Ooh,
Monster Massive.
Jeez, what year was that?
2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Yeah, those years are epic, man. I think
Monster Massive, like that.
Yeah.
Those were dope ass raves. You know, they're not like that anymore. You know what I
Correct.
mean?
Yeah.
you know, everything's evolved. I'm not putting nothing new down, and I'm growing. You got to
No.
grow with the times.
Yeah, right.
to
And
put
the
down
kids
there.
these days definitely have something new to experience.
Yeah, they're definitely creating a vibe.
We're the founders. We did it first.
Yep.
And
hear
you know
that,
what?
people?
They're able to experience what they experience, and for them, it's great. And that's all that matters. As long as you're having a good time and enjoying yourself, staying positive, and keeping it about the music and dancing.
Correct.
Everything else is bullshit.
That's right. No clicks.
Yeah.
Teddy bear. What did I hear?
That was my
Audience
alter ego.
member.
My alter ego, the Bloody Bear. I would DJ in the Bloody Bear outfit for Halloween
Nice. At Monster Massive?
at Monster Massive. Yeah, there's a little doll we made. Frank Kozik, rest in peace, who passed away recently, made a little 3-inch doll called the Bloody Bear, and it was my alter ego that I would
Yeah.
DJ at Monster Massive on stage wearing that outfit. Back in the rave days.
Right on. Right on. We heard a
dope.
lot about raves today so far.
Right on. Is there anybody you want to work with that you haven't worked with?
I love working with everybody. I would really like to work with Carl Cox, Ricardo Villalobos. My favorite producer out right now is probably Purple Disco Machine.
Right on.
But I worked with a lot of people. I help a lot of people get their first start in LA. We brought them out first. People like Swedish House Mafia, Antoine Clamerman, Dead Mouse.
Wow.
We did a lot of first timers here in LA. And my favorite of all time DJs, Mr. Barry Weaver, who's retired,
Oh, that
who's an
dude's
LA
dope.
legend.
Jeez. Yeah.
Thanks for the props, man. Definitely. What career are you in? And what are your hobbies?
I'm a full time dad, and that's my hobby. It's my favorite thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also a full time boyfriend. And listening to music, eating good food, having good time, spending time with the people you love. That's what life's about.
Right on. So that's what makes you happy?
Yes, and music.
You like to travel?
Of course, who doesn't?
Where's your favorite place?
For me, I'm pretty simple. I like going to Mexico.
Right on.
Mexico's one of my favorite places to go to. I did Europe. Europe's great, but people don't dance enough. They just stand and clap their hands.
Do they smoke weed?
If you want to smoke weed, you got to come to California. It's right here on the West Coast. Los Angeles, California, especially the Valley where I live. That's where the best weed in the world is. I've been all over the world, I can tell you.
Cali has the best, right?
Yeah.
The best weed in the world
Right?
in the Valley.
Right on.
That's crazy.
Brian Epstein was talking about that. You know
Yeah.
Brian?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was talking about his store up there as well, up in the valley.
Yeah. Be careful.
Must be the dirt.
It's just be careful. It's on another level.
Right?
I took
You'd be
some of that-
stuck on the couch for hours.
I took some to Amsterdam with
I'll
me,
be right there.
and I gave it to the Green Club or Greenhouse, and the owners of that place were blown away. First, they're wondering how I brought seeds over, I hope I just didn't get myself in trouble, but I did.
Yeah. Don't worry, they're not watching, right? Were your parents supportive, or your family members, your brother or sister, were they supportive when you became a DJ, or how did that work out for you?
My dad and mom were nightclub owners, and I kind of grew up in the nightclub scene. So, whether they liked it or not, their son was going to be in the night and entertainment scene. And, you know, they're very supportive. My mom's supportive of me of whatever I do. My dad as well. He's one of my biggest fans online. He's still living in Iran, so
Okay.
I don't get to see him all the time, but he's online on my Instagrams, liking everything. So I know he supports me, checks on me every day.
Right on. Hopefully he's watching. What's up, Dad?
Hey. And my mom as well. My mom's amazing. She's there with me. And my number one fan is here with me today, my girlfriend Tina,
Right on. Thank you for being here, Tina.
who's been an inspiration to me for many years. And a few years ago, I asked her to be my girlfriend. She said yes.
There it is.
Right on.
Soon, Mrs. Garami.
You heard that first.
If
behind
I'm
the
lucky,
headphones.
if I'm
Proposals
lucky
in
enough,
the house. Now we have
if I'm
proposals.
lucky enough,
How do you engage your listeners?
just play good music, play what you like, and if people like what you're doing, they'll listen to you. At the end of the day, it's about the music. If the music catches their ear and turns them on, then that's who you want to play for. You want to attract people that are attracted to what you do. It's not a popularity game. It's not a dance competition. It's not how high you can jump or throw your hands in the air. It's about the music you play, and that's what attracts everybody. If you play good music, that's what matters. When I look out on a dance floor, I don't want to see phones. I want to see people's hips moving. I want to see people dancing. I want to see people twisting. I just recently heard Dan Tenaglia say it, and he said it right. You want to see people gyrating and dancing. That's what it's all about. Dance music. So if you want to compliment the DJ, just dance.
Absolutely. Most of the time they have their head down, looking at the phone or trying to see how many likes
Or-
they have. When they should be, when they're liking you. Period.
They're trying to jam, or what do they call that? Jam
That track, right? Probably that too.
It's an internet generation.
Sometimes I like catching the DJ in the moment, though. You know, like, you know, sometimes you guys are in the zone, and I want to record that, like, because
It's
people-
okay. Listen, it's
Some-
okay.
I mean,
it's okay to record. It's okay.
I record the
get it.
vibe too, because like sometimes you know
DJs
the
have
DJs
a
will be like
a right
in the
to
zone,
record.
bro, and then you're in the zone. Sometimes you don't see, but the fucking
got in the
crowd
zone
is
quick
just
here.
like that shit is that you know that
You got to get it. You got to get that moment. Those are moments that are magical, and we definitely want to capture them.
and you know that I think is the ultimate, not the ultimate goal, but I think you know DJs should strive for that, because that's a good humble feeling, you know, when you play a track, you know, and you did it right here, and it was just us, you know what I mean?
If you
So-
can create those magical moments, if you can do it for 5 people, 10 people, 50 people, 500 or 50,000, it's the same experience.
Right.
yeah.
You
Very
got to
true.
touch people
Very true.
in their musical hearts.
Right on, dude. Right on. And how do you stay up to date with music, or do you write music?
I have written music. I haven't lately been in the studio, which is something I really strive for coming up for 2024. But, you know, I listen to other DJs. I listen to DJs that I respect and music that I hear. And I'm fortunate enough to have a lot of friends in the music industry that I will call and ask for a USB full of music.
Oh yeah.
And I'm on labels that send me all their, you know, they call them promos.
Okay.
So I get promos every week,
Right on.
and I listen to them, and it's just about, nobody has enough time to listen to everything.
Correct.
But once you figure
Ask
out,
him. Ask him with all
Yeah.
his 50 crates.
once you're able to actually figure out what you like and what style you're going for, then you can kind of break it down to who those producers are, and
Got it.
you'll just find that zone or that lane that you're happy on the musical highway, and that's where you want to stay.
Oh yeah. So where can we catch you, like, coming up? You have any big?
Tomorrow I'm playing a really super duper dope gig.
Tell us about it.
It's called Housey Techno, And the last time I played for these promoters in San Diego, I played Halloween. I think it was Halloween last year, or no, Halloween during COVID. It was 2000. I want to say 21.
Yeah, 2021.
21. And the party was under a freeway where you had to actually walk like 15 minutes under tunnels till you got to this under the freeway party. And it was myself and Lee from Desert Hearts played after me. And this was an amazing party, probably like 700-800 people under the freeway.
Nice.
A banging sound system.
Super underground.
Very minimal
right
lighting. And people were having a great time.
That's all it's about, like you just said earlier.
Yeah, I'm doing it again tomorrow. So they were getting a little bit of, I say, overexposure in the law enforcement world for their under the freeway parties. So tomorrow they're doing the party at a warehouse, at a climber's warehouse in San Diego. The Instagram is sdrenegade.com. REZA, REZA. And if you will.
Right on.
What skills do you need to have to be a DJ?
You should learn the technical. You should learn the music. You got to have a good ear. Most importantly, you got to love music. That's what really matters. And it'll come out in your skills. Does not matter what you look like. Doesn't matter how high you can jump. And the production won't always be there. You won't always have fireworks. And you'll still have to rock the crowd. So it comes back to the basics. Learn how to rock a crowd with minimal, with just music. And then you can take it from there. The production should intensify what you do, not become what you do.
I was watching earlier on the internet and I saw like an interview and somebody was talking about a lot of festivals have pre-recorded mixes. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think a DJ set should be live when it's in a festival, or how do you feel about the whole pre-recorded thing?
It's a joke. It's just like Milli Vanilli.
Right?
And
no pre-recorded mixes,
Yeah,
bro.
that takes away from.
if you're not going to go up there and perform as a DJ, then don't go up there. Because what are you really doing? You're not performing live, then don't go perform live. You shouldn't be on a stage as a DJ if you're not going to DJ.
Because that's what it's about, right? Being live, creating the music, you know.
In the zone, just like how you said, man.
Unless you're going to DJ, don't go up there as a DJ. If you want to just be a jukebox, send the jukebox up there.
Right? Submit your mix.
Yeah, submit your mix.
Don't even.
Let it be live on air. Go hide in a studio. Don't go on stage.
Now that
You don't deserve to be there.
Now that we're kind of on that topic, what would you change in the industry?
You know, I wouldn't change anything. I think there's a place for everyone in the industry. And you just got to do what you do. You got to respect other people and what they do, their dreams and their goals and their desires. I would just tell people to just do them. Be you. Be original. Be yourself and let yourself shine, because there's a lot of goodness in a lot of people.
Right.
And there's a lot of stars. Look up in the sky. That'll tell you there are a lot of stars. There's room for everybody to shine.
Exactly. Shout out to Animal Events. They said REZA is the creator of LA Massive.
Animal in the house. We love
What's
you,
up,
Animal.
Thank you for tuning in, bro. Describe yourself in 5 words.
I am an atomic playboy.
What does that mean?
Cut.
It's fun. There you
What-
go. F-U-N.
You said you DJ with a lot of great people. What's your favorite DJ? Or who's your favorite DJ, I should say?
I have so many favorite DJs.
Let us know.
Carl Cox is one of my favorites. Laurent Garnier is one of my favorites. From France, Antoine Clamarin is one of my favorites. Purple Disco Machine is one of my favorites. Steve Angelo from the Swedish House Mafia is one of my favorites. Barry Weaver, my all-time favorite who I'm hoping one day we can all come together and persuade him to come back for one more set, maybe on my 50th birthday.
There it is. There's
That's
a shout
it.
out right
Hell
there,
yeah.
man. Absolutely.
That's a request, Barry.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Tenaglia,
Yeah, he just got through his sickness. Okay, well, good for him. You know what I mean?
yes, and we were all happy for that.
For sure.
Thank God.
That's right. What's been the most rewarding part of being a DJ for you? The most rewarding.
You know, I thought it was being a DJ, but when I had my daughter, I realized I found love.
What's her name?
Her name is Kira Garami, Kira Faith Garami. And I didn't really, I thought I knew love until I had a daughter. And then I realized, wow, there's this whole love that you don't even know. And I'm blessed. And I'm hoping everybody gets to experience having kids.
How old is she?
She's 10 years old.
Right on.
She's an Aquarius, born in February.
Aquarius, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm February too, but I'm Pisces. Big deal. What has been your craziest adventure in your life?
You know, I played a lot of shows. I played, I played to 1 million people in Mazatlan.
Whoa.
And I played Queen's Day in Amsterdam. I'm one of the only American DJs to ever play that. And that's like millions of people in the streets as well. You can see it on YouTube. I mean, I played a lot of shows. The Carnival in Mazatlan, I was on float number 26 out of 28 floats. It was the only dance music float, playing to 1 million people going through Mazatlan. I played the Love Festival in Hawaii at its prime, which built up from a small little 700-person warehouse party to 14,000 people on the water in Hawaii.
Dope.
Monster Massive, of course. Together as One. Some of my own events have been some of my favorites. I always took time out to play the closing sets, and they're the most rewarding.
Did you ever play any sports as growing up?
No, I was always on the sidelines. I was hanging out with the football players' girlfriends.
I'll hold your bag.
Yeah.
So what's a typical day for you?
Typical day for me is get
Besides DJing.
up, spend time with your daughter. I go pick her up from school, taking her to dance. After dance, taking her to eat, do homework together. I'm a dad. I'm a full-time dad, and I'm committed. I think it's the most rewarding experience I've ever had. Next to DJing is just being able to be there for your daughter and being a good dad.
If you were going to write a book, what would it be about and its title?
Wow. That's a tough question.
That's what we're here for.
If I was going to write a book, the title would be From Warehouse to Penthouse.
We have a comedian here tonight, everybody. We just want you to know that. What's your favorite movie?
He's not joking.
Wow, he's got some questions. He didn't prepare me for any of this. This is straight raw.
Dude, that's Jimmy Kimmel.
I like
the way
it.
It should be, right?
What is my favorite movie of all time? That's a good question.
For me, it's Goodfellas, right off the bat. For me.
The Huff.
Yeah. There's some good movies out there, but to me, it's Goodfellas, that's for sure.
You know, I recently just watched a show on Netflix called Suits, and I was very heavily into it. I binge watched 8 seasons, and I've got to apologize to a lot of my friends. I know I've been missing for a while because I've been at home on Netflix, and that's what I've been doing.
Netflix and chill.
I know what that means, but no.
But one more question for me, because we have Frank Nitty right here in our
My
presence.
boy.
Frank Nitty, everybody. What stands between you for where you are to where you want to go? What stands in your way?
Nothing. Take those steps.
Bandit,
the ability to actually want to,
Yeah.
the motivation to do it, and the love and support from everybody around you
Correct.
helps you guide yourself. You know, I was a self-made millionaire, multi-millionaire, self-made entrepreneur, and I am humbled. And I still show mad love to everybody, and I respect everybody, and I say there's room for everybody at the top. And when the seas rise, all the boats go up. And that's what we got to focus on. We got to bring our industry up. We got to work with each other. We got to build each other up. We got to support each other.
I wish everybody thought like you.
Exactly, man.
And
Yeah.
the more we can help each other,
Out there.
the more we can help each other, the farther we'll get as an industry, the farther we'll get as people, the more we'll achieve, and the better we'll feel about it.
That is so true. Reza, we want to thank you so much for giving us an awesome set of music, awesome life experiences. What you're telling us right here is giving us knowledge beyond comparison, my friend.
Straight legend, dude.
You're a true legend. Not even knowing all of this, our listeners are grateful for this as well, that you're here in our presence, dude, because we're trying to bring names here and find out who the person is. Everybody knows the DJ, but do they know Reza Garami here? And you brought that out today. I want to
Thank you
so
for having
much
me,
being
Craig.
Here.
Thank you, Bandit, for having me. Thank
Thanks
you.
for coming, man.
Next up, Frank Nitty.
Yes, my boy in the house. Cheers.
Remember that mixer that
Jimmy taught me how to play on track drum. I learned how to play. No, that program. Tractor. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I can't sit online because I have to actually go back and report.
Emergency. 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 You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me and I'll show you what you wanna see. You can call me if you want in an emergency. Call me if you need some love and ecstasy. Emergency.
Playboy Mansion. Are you serious? Wow. Oh, Love Festival. That's a great time to get married at Love Festival.
now he's in all Insomniac events right now. All of them. Yeah.
Let me get you a chair. Your chair's right here, bro.
We were just hanging in Exchange LA. Yeah, just recently. It was laid back Rook. He came. He called me. He was like, "Hey, dude, we're gonna be over here." I was like, "All right, yeah, sure."
Want cookies or
fun.
anything, bro? Rez, you're good.
Solid, thank you.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Hospitality just begins here. Beautiful misses right here. Everything's moving along. I'm gonna go live already on Facebook. Okay?
Yeah, man.
So again, this is gonna be the Twitch page.
Okay.
Bandit. So if you want to check it out, our Instagram behind the headphones.
Okay.
Right here.
YouTube and Twitch.
All right.
So
Cool.
on K-Bandit's page, okay? You got your Reza. You got your stickers? I gave them to you, right? Or did I give them yours?
I got mine.
Did you get your stickers ready? All right, cool.
That shit's going straight to the crate. Yeah.
Want to start behind the headphones? You want to do a mic check?
Yeah, sure. Mic check, mic check.
Yeah. Put your headphones on to see how you sound.
Okay. Mic check, mic check. Mic check. Yeah, we're good.
How can
Yeah.
you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I hear you fine. Yeah. All right. What's up?
You're good. Twitch as well.
Yes.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 3 of Behind the Headphones, episode 12, coming at you now. Another LA legend right here. I met this guy opening up for Suave at Soul City back in 2012 at the Playhouse in Hollywood. I'll never forget this guy's set, and I kept hitting him up, man, where's my shirt?
That's right. I had the Frank Nitty merch happen.
Right?
Yeah,
You sure
that's
did,
right.
dude. Frank
Yeah,
Nitty at the time. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, episode 12 with my partner K-Bandit. Everyone, give it up for Frank Nitty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bandit, please start it off.
So, aside from the DJ thing, when did you start producing music? Cause like
Yeah.
I when I made the flyer, I'm like, damn, I want to put one of his tracks, and it was just like,
Fucking constant.
yeah, bro. So
Yeah. So I've been producing like back in mid 90s, but I just like I kind of put it away because I'm like, no, I want to be this DJ, and I just wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to just learn the craft. I obviously hanging with REZA and hanging with his crew,
Thank you, REZA, for sure.
just opened that up. We were hanging out 3 a.m. at shout out to J Cut and my boy P. We were 3 a.m. just DJing, and I'm just looking at these guys spinning on a zone mixer with a tractor on a computer, and I'm like, okay, so how you do this, how you mix this? So then I put my songs together, and I'm like, damn, this is crazy, So right after that, I just kept DJing for like 2-3 years, thinking that I was gonna be something. But I noticed my wide awakening was when I was in Spain. I noticed that there was absolutely nobody where I was playing for, and I'm like, there's no way I could shortcut this. I'm gonna have to produce, if I want to get that going. So yeah, 2013 was my first official release on Beatport.
awesome.
For Gigabeats. It was a small boutique label, and then before that, I was just pushing the SNS Go Ventures crew. REZA had his little posse, and we all hung out, so it was like family, and I can't forget that.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's just
Monumental right there, too.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's just much love to those guys. So I love you, dog. Yeah, Tina too, because she's been around. I mean, he's been around too when the wife was around, and at that time she was my girlfriend, and they were doing Love Festival in Vegas, and I was like, no, I'm gonna marry my girl, and they're like, no, and I'm like, yeah. So we got married that day in Vegas, and it was awesome. So yeah.
And what's your
Right on.
wife's name?
Georgina.
Right on.
Yeah.
Georgina, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
So besides being a dope DJ and a producer, do you have any other hobbies like basketball?
To be honest with you,
Or is it all music?
No. I mean, I love my music, of course. But there's sometimes I need to take a break from it.
Right.
You know, because the mental game kind of gets to you.
Yeah.
So I'm into gaming, and I'm
Right
also
on.
and I'm also into guns.
Right on.
So that's kind of a weird mix, but yeah.
Not really. I mean, we're American.
Yeah. I'm a pro 2A, so
We got guns.
Yeah, when it comes to like guns, I like building them. You know,
Nice.
I like to get creative with them and just
Oh,
be
yeah.
like finding out what's the new shit, and I could just add stuff to it, or make different types of firearms, and all legal, all serialized.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then
We're getting to know who you are.
yeah, and then obviously the gaming, just playing games.
What's your favorite game?
COD, yeah.
Call
yeah,
of Duty.
Yeah.
Hey, were you ever like the 007 gamer back in the day?
Man,
Because I think that's what started
it, dude.
Yeah,
Yes,
bro.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember. I used to go to my homie's house because I didn't have it, and he had the 64, and I used to come to his house every day playing that game.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's old school.
And now
right
it's
there.
like multiplayer. Now it's like it's getting crazy now. Like Call of Duty now, it's like I can't believe like the way it is now from what it was to 007, because there's but now
Damn,
it's
Counter
just-
Strike's dope too. That's
yeah,
old.
Counter Strike's amazing too. Like even SOCOM games and stuff. Like I like all these army shooting games,
Yeah.
first player shooting games. But there's this one kind of game in COD called DMZ, where you have your crew, and if you see another crew, it's either you can join up and team up. If not, then you guys are straight up on a dogfight.
Oh, okay, against each other.
Yeah, so you guys are kind of negotiating, like, okay, are we cool? We cool or we're not? You know,
Am I gonna blow
yeah,
your
some
leg
like
off, or
real
are we
life
gonna-
stuff. Yeah, like, and we're on the mics, like, wait, all right, I'm zero on this guy. Do you want me to shoot him or not? And they're like, no, stand by. I'm like, all right, well, just let me know, So yeah, some crazy shit like that, man. But it's crazy how
Takes
this
you
game's
deep.
evolved. Yeah,
That's
it
dope.
is.
Hey, if
Yeah.
you see him online,
Yeah,
Hit
F_NITTY wants
He's
to
gonna shoot you
Yeah.
right away.
And you know what's
Yeah.
funny is that some of the people recognize me. They're like, "Wait, are you Frank Nitty?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh shit!" And then there's some guys that don't know, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, cool." So, but yeah, it's a whole
That's
different.
dope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dope.
Were your parents supportive, or your family members, your brother or sister, when you started becoming a DJ, or how did that work out? for you?
Yeah. So, my father wasn't around as much. He obviously got deported or whatever. He was doing his thing, but he was a DJ.
Oh wow.
He was a DJ. Yeah, he was DJing back in the 80s. He was DJ. My mom's a disco diva, so she used to go to Circus.
Sir, back in the day, man.
Yes, so
That was
she
the
used to
spot.
go. Yeah, so she used to go to Circus, and that's how I got to meet the promoters, because they were like, "You're Janet's son." And I'm like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Okay, well, bring your friends." And then I invited my friends in like middle school. So I, cause it was all age shit, right?
hey,
So
No
I used to-
drinking.
hey, you gotta
You
pull them
guys.
when you can pull
Oh,
them.
fuck that! I was drinking at that
Alright, good for you guys.
time. Well, no, but yeah, no. See, they say come and invite them, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And I just saw my first check, and I'm like, wait, what's this for? And he was like, oh, that's because you brought your friends. And I'm like, you can get paid for this? I'm like, no way, dude. I'm like, oh shit, hell yeah. So yeah, that's when the promoting days started, because I used to be a promoter.
What year
So
was
your
it?
mom for sure was your backbone on that
Yeah,
one. Right there.
yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Right on, dude.
yeah.
What year
My
was that,
pop-
brother?
my, 98, 97. This is when DJ Irene and
Prime time
Stacey
right there.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
When they had Kiss FM with Groove Radio.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Real shit
I mean,
right
I
there.
literally like grew up in this shit. Like it was embedded in.
Perfect
just
timing.
Yeah, and like hanging with these guys, it's just like one thing after the other, and it's just made like and
Everything connect.
Yeah, and I even told my wife, like at the time she was my girlfriend, I was like, I feel like there's a gift, and I feel like there's something there, and I don't want to stop.
Yeah, you gotta keep pushing.
Yeah.
Look
and
at you now, brother.
thanks, thank you. And I told my wife, if I don't try, I'm gonna just live with regret for the rest of
Yeah,
my
you're gonna
life.
be like, damn, I should have.
Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy, because I'm just gonna kill myself. Like not literally, but
No,
you know what I mean.
know,
Like
yeah.
I'll just be like, fuck, But she's like, okay, fine. So she bought me my first laptop. Kind of a mistake, because I mean I love it she did that, but my mistake was I accepted it when it was not a Mac. And my first DJ set, I played it with like a Microsoft computer, and it just shut down on me.
Damn.
So So I got my first boo, and I was like,
Damn you,
holy
Bill
shit!
Gates.
I'm like, oh fuck! And this was
Damn
at,
extension cord.
yeah, no, it was this the CPU was way too high, and it couldn't take what
Got it.
track
Well,
it
you were
was. What I was
dishing out.
DJing on, and this was at Bordeaux and Avalon, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, like, well, yeah. So I'm like,
Damn.
holy shit, yeah. So, but yeah, shout out to Suave. Yeah, like, he also gave me the opportunity. Shout out to REZA. He gave me some opportunities as well. I played at his events and Together as one, and at first people were like, nah, he's just a bedroom DJ, whatever. But at the end, they were like, REZA was like, you want to play at this? I'm like, yeah, and then he gave me that opportunity, and
Dope.
yeah, I just kept going, man. So
You gotta keep
Besides
pushing,
being-
brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
besides being a producer, what skills do you need to have to be a DJ? Non-producing.
Obviously beat matching, that's number one. Have an ear, learning your steps to kick in. These times you could read the notes, because the way it is now,
It's so easy. I mean, it's not easy, but
it's easy to people that already know, right? But
Yeah.
but see, sometimes the ear beats what's visual. Like
Exactly.
now the CDJs, it's like they have the steps, but sometimes they're not 100% accurate. So by looking at a computer to telling you what's the beat counts or to match with it, it's not going to be 100%. So where you're going to fall from that? If you try to skip that, and the only thing you can go back is with your ear.
ears. Yep.
If you don't listen to your ears and you listen to what's visually showing you the counts, then you're gonna fumble. And that's the thing. A lot of people are used to the sync button. I just say fuck it. Take the wheel trains off, the training wheels off, and just go in. So
Right on.
yeah, man.
Good
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
Do you collect vinyl?
I do. I haven't lately because I've been so caught up with what's going on right now, and most of these labels now, they're like, well, we need this, so everything now is all digital.
Is any of your tracks on vinyl?
I try to, but they're saying that it's cost effective for the labels, so I have to have at least 1 million streams in order to get my own
Oh
vinyl.
shit! Wow.
Yeah,
Are you almost there?
I'm there. I'm almost there.
Right on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we want to hear.
I'll buy one.
Exactly. Count me in.
I think if I get 1 million streams, I have one vinyl. But yeah, I'll some way somehow.
You can
Like
borrow
Reza
it.
said, you could copy it or something.
Yeah, we can copy- we
yeah,
can
yeah.
copy
So
vinyl, that's for sure.
dub plates, yeah, exactly.
Dope.
Yeah, I know, and that was the thing because when I was working with Eric, I said, "Are we gonna do this in vinyl?" And it was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's way too much, man." And I was like, "All right."
It's crazy though, cause vinyl's coming back though. Believe it or not,
Yeah,
like
very,
people
very
are
hard, yeah.
people are starting to get the vinyl.
It is, but
I mean, and I know it's old, cause a lot of new DJs they don't want to.
but you have to respect the old,
Yeah. Right?
because that's where we came from.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A
Yeah,
lot of people
so-
try to cheat the game though. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, those are the people that don't belong in this game.
right?
Yeah, straight up. You just need to respect your peoples that brought it in for you. Like at the end of the day, like you wouldn't be there without these guys that brought it in. So
Yeah, the guys that
yeah,
laid out the
Reza's
foundation.
one, yeah,
Learn how to drive stick shift first.
yeah,
Right?
yeah. I mean, look at James Hype. Everybody wants to see the kid spin because he doesn't just mix or press play. He's actually mixing. Like he's actually literally like
Yeah, he's getting
switching
down.
the turntables on the CDJs. You know what I mean? So, and that's what he even said. He said most people come is because they like to see how I spin, not because
What
I
I
press and
spin.
play.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's dope.
Very
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yeah.
How do you feel the 30-year for Power Tools was?
Dude, that was amazing. And for Richard to invite me and Robbie also to call me, it was like a huge honor. You know what I mean? Because just sitting with those guys, I remember just looking up to them like, I want to be that guy, or I want to be those guys. And to be taking pictures with these guys and, be at that same caliber and just being humble about everything, it was just like, wow, that's awesome.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
What's your greatest strength or what's your greatest weakness?
My greatest strength is hunger. My greatest weakness is failure. Which it's hard to do because at the end of the day, whatever gets me mad or whatever I fell on, I get hunger for more, to do more. if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes total sense.
So
You're happy where
so
you're at. Yeah.
right.
You
So
keep digging.
in my kind of situation, if I didn't release, 10 tracks for this year, I'll be pissed and I'll be like, no, I need to release 10 tracks or 12 tracks, which means it's 1 track a month for this year. So I'm like, fuck this, I need to do more, because releasing music is like a lottery ticket. The more you release, the more you get
Opportunity.
exposure.
Yeah.
Well, no, you just stay consistent. It's not just opportunities; it's just consistency. This game is so much of a rat race. You're competing with. When you release your song, you're competing with like thousands of people on the
Already.
same day that your song's getting released.
Yeah.
So how can you make your song
Stand out.
from everybody else?
Yeah.
You have to break that barrier.
Right.
And that's been taught to. Shout out to Kreider and Tom Starr, because we'll just sit down and just eat, and they'll just say that. It's a difficult game. It's a very difficult game.
Very competitive out. Like everybody wants to produce and DJ. So
Yeah. I mean, it's, and then once you make a track and it's a hit to you, how can you get better to make another hit? So it's one of those things where you just have. It's just very competitive. It's very, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Everything is fun, but at the same time, you just got to be like, all right, how can I make myself different from everybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
So
dude.
yeah.
What has been the craziest adventure you've been on? Married or single?
Wait. Now,
hey, we're gonna have to
wait a second.
honey,
close one of them, bro.
Wait.
Honey.
We're gonna get them in trouble, dog.
Yeah.
Okay, no
No,
answer. on that.
no. If you want to say
Say married.
no. Let's just talk. Let's stick to music. The craziest adventure that I've been to was probably, it had to be. It's between Amsterdam and Ibiza, or Spain.
Yeah, Spain.
Ibiza, but they say Ibiza. Yeah, no, it's between those two, because I played in Amsterdam, and I was literally with the greats: Bob Sinclair,
Nice.
Carl Cox, Daddy's Groove,
Damn.
Swedish House Mafia, Kreider,
crazy.
Tom Starr, all in one house. We're all sitting in the back, and we're just taking turns DJing.
That's dope.
And I'm thinking in my head, like, and I looked at my best friend, like, dude, pinch me. Am I fucking
Yeah,
dreaming
right?
right now, bro?
Right?
That had to be the craziest. And then there's also Spain, where we played and at a private island in a
Nice.
private section in Formentera that some guy owned in some, it was a private party, but fucking everybody there was like butt ass naked, like it was just,
Yeah.
so,
It was good times.
well, yeah.
Spain vibes.
Spain vibes.
Well, it's Europe,
Yeah.
Everybody's liberal, so
Pretty much, yeah.
the chest out and everything is not like, I'm very, Americans, we're kind of conservative, so we're just looking at like, oh my God, these people are fully naked, whatever. But yeah, I would have to say Amsterdam. Amsterdam would be it.
Right on.
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
Who's your favorite DJ? And if you have a few, let us know.
I
But
have to
who is
say-
your favorite?
I have to say, Axwell, Steve Angelo. Yeah, those are the guys that I'm scared to talk to. Actually,
You're scared to talk
I'm
to
scared
people?
to talk to them.
Really?
Yeah, because you don't want to take that away from them. That fanness of you. You're like the thing that you put them on the pedestal. Like, dude, you guys are fucking amazing. This is that. And then once you get to meet them, it could be either I don't like you anymore, or
I know what you're
or
saying.
Yeah,
they're
you're
just
right.
more amazing. You know what I mean? So it's just
Depends
one
on
of
how
those-
they've.
Exactly. So
Click.
it's one of those like, hey, what's up? All right, cool, man. Have a nice day, dog. Guys, take
Yeah,
care. Yeah.
yeah.
Like, I'll keep it short.
High and by.
Yeah, high and by. Because you just don't want to mess that up. Yeah.
So when I saw you back in 2012 at Playhouse, how much longer prior to that were you playing? Because that was the first time I met you with DJ Dan.
Yeah. Yeah.
DJ Dan?
Prior, well, I started in 2010. Like,
So just a few years. Then.
yeah, just a few years, yeah. And again, I was just reaching out to people, like, hey, can I play? Hey, can I play? This and that. So I was hitting up Facebook and all this stuff. And
You have to be like that, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I had to invest $3,000 to go to Miami to play, and then meet the right people, and just get to meet all these people that I needed to do, you know. And then
Networking.
these people, obviously networking is key. And by meeting these people, they're like, oh yeah, we have friends from people that are playing in Spain. You want to play? And I'm like, yeah, cool, you know. But again, when I played in these places, they were empty. So that's when I was like, no, I gotta produce. I have to 100% produce.
That was your hunger right there.
That was my hunger. Once I got back, and that was like a learning curve for me. And after that, I just said, fuck it. I just went full balls in the wall. Fast forward to 2017, my first track with Tom Starr got released, and then I'm like, dude, I did this by myself, but it was a collaboration track, and I was like, okay, how can I get out of this, because they're gonna think we're a duel. So I just kept going and going and going, and then I met this guy in Miami named Angel. Shout out to my boy Angel Negron. He was like, yeah, I know Eric Murillo, and again, you know, in this game, people say they know everybody, so I'm just like, yeah. Cool, bro. I'll take you on that note, you know, like, yeah, we'll see. So then I was just like, fuck it, let's just see what this guy says, you know. So I sent him La Fluta, and then he was like,
It's a dope track.
yeah, thank you. And then like 1 minute later, he was like, okay, I'm sending this to Eric, and I'm like, okay, you know, I was just nonchalant about it, like, all right, well, let's see what this guy says, you know, because a lot of people say they know people, and you're just like, all right, whatever. Next thing you know, like within 2 hours, I got a call from Eric. Like a phone call from Eric, and I'm just like, he's like, hey, what's up, man? And I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, I absolutely love this track. I'm gonna have my boy Javier hit you up, which is his manager, and we're gonna go ahead and sign this, okay? I'm like, okay, cool, and don't worry about it. And then that's when Javier, which is his cousin, shout out to Eric, rest in peace, he was like, okay, cool, we're gonna give you, you know, X amount of money for this track, and we want to sign it. I'm like, all right, let me get back to you. You know, because I didn't want to say yes right away.
Yeah.
And then Angel was like, all right, at this point, I'm gonna be your manager. I'm gonna represent you, and this and that. So he negotiated it, and then that's when the deal was closed. And I was like, okay, cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
Dude.
So
Congratulations.
it worked out. Yeah, it worked out.
That's dope. How would you describe the music that you produce? Like,
Yeah. So it obviously music is evolving. What I learned, I usually love like house music. That's the fundamentals, right? But you know, my background's Latin, you know, so I had to put some Latin stuff in that, and it worked out. But I started to notice that I'm starting to stay away. I'm trying to steer clear from that now, because I don't just want to be known as a house Latin DJ. So I'm starting to do bass house and other elements like progressive melodic. And
Nice.
and this isn't just me. This is actually the labels. They'll reach out to you and they'll just say, hey, we want to have a meeting with you, and then they'll tell you, okay, look, these are A&Rs, you know, so these guys know exactly what is going to be in the markets.
Got it.
So they'll say, these are 12 tracks that we are looking for these particular sounds, and we want you to execute that, and we want 6 tracks from you, and we're going to start releasing every other month and start like a campaign for you. And I was like, okay, cool. So that was a challenge within itself, and which is fun.
yeah, because you gotta adapt to someone else's taste and style.
Yeah, but it's not taken away from you. It's just
Nah,
they just want you to do it in your way. And what's cool about these deals that I'm making with these labels is that they're giving me the luxury to be like, okay, you can still release with other labels. We're not gonna put you
Hold
on
you
a,
back, yeah.
That's
we're
dope.
not gonna put you on an exclusive contract. We just want a contract with you where you can just release with us. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, and if whatever they don't sign, I'll send it to another label. And I'm not gonna say that because they're gonna get mad at me. But yeah, that's how it works.
You gotta keep striving for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not just me. They're also helping me. There's obviously a team behind, and my manager also reaches out. Shout out to Seth and Harry. These guys are literally the backbone, because while I'm out there networking, they're straight up negotiating deals with collaborations with other artists and
Teamwork, brother.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah. So it's
Got a
all
good crew.
yeah. It's all a big company. I started getting serious with this, I think, in 2021, when I started to see the money coming in, and I was just like, holy shit, this is a lot of money. and Uncle Sam's gonna fucking get me for this. So I need to figure
Damn
out.
you,
how I'm
Uncle
gonna-
Sam.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, you son
I'm
of
gonna
a-
have to figure out how to make this, go away. And yeah, so I got a crew. I got my own business, and we were able to, get everything coordinated. So yeah,
That's dope.
yeah.
So, where can we catch you, or what's coming up for you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
tell us about
so-
your tour dates if you got
Yeah,
Yeah, so obviously I'm gonna be doing Lick and Dip for next
lick and dip.
week. Yeah, yeah. Have you guys heard of it?
Isn't that Brooks? Isn't that Brooks' place?
No.
It's
Have
in
you guys
downtown.
Heard? Yeah, downtown.
Yeah,
Downtown.
warehouse
Yeah,
parties.
Dope, dope,
yeah.
dope.
Like
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I met the owner and the talent buyers, and they've been trying to reach out with me. They actually wanted me to do back to back with Red Tape. You guys know who? Yeah.
Mhm.
So they wanted me to do a back to back with him, but we finally got into a deal where they're gonna have me spin next week. So yeah, that's one. I got 2 gigs in Dallas and Houston, and then I'm going to the Mayan in Phoenix. Right after, I think that's the only U.S. dates that I have so far, and then I'm going to Amsterdam, and I'm going to be playing for Dark Light Sessions with
Dope.
Fede Legrand, and
Right.
yeah, and then I
Old school
have.
right there, man.
Then I'm also gonna be playing with Kreider and Tom at the Boat Party. ADE is like 4 days, 5 days, and obviously there's parties in every other places. So I'm gonna be playing back and forth in different places in Amsterdam. And I think after that I'm just gonna take a break. Yeah. So November, December is just pure daddy and wife. What
Nice.
you guys need.
Enjoy
what you
the
want me to do.
Holidays.
Yeah. So you got to
The
balance it
honeydew
out.
list.
Yeah, you have to balance it out, and then
Family is key, brother.
yeah, well, that's what I do it for. I mean, I was talking to what's his name? Hey, Dennis Ferrer. Yeah.
Oh, he's bad.
I was talking to Dennis Ferrer in Miami, and he told me, and I'll never forget this. He says they pay you not because of the DJing or not because of the music. They're actually paying you because you're away from your family. And he said if you look at it like that, you're gonna look at the game completely different. And I was like, dude, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely hate it to go on tour. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fucking amazing, it's fucking awesome. But I have a 4-year-old and I have an 11-year-old, and yeah, no, well,
And
they just,
depending on the time of year, you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
sure it's
true.
got to be like,
Yeah, school involved.
you know what
yeah.
I mean?
yeah, well, see, that's the thing. Like, of course, you gotta balance it out, right? So,
Yeah.
spring break, obviously, they're gonna be coming. Obviously, it's Miami Music Week, so I'll bring them with me after I'm done with all that, and then I'll take them to Disney World.
Cool.
And
Cool little vacation.
so yeah, exactly. And then come November, December, absolutely not taking no gigs. Like, don't even bother calling me. I'm not even gonna do nothing. Like, don't just leave me alone, because that's obviously
Your time.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
season. Those are Thanksgiving and whatever. Come summer, that's if I get a gig in New York or something like that, I'll take them with me. But yeah, the most crucial ones is July, March, and October, because that's where I need to be. I need to be in Spain, Miami, and Amsterdam.
So you're pounding the pavement like 7 or 8 months a year then?
Yeah, and it's
Hard work with
nonstop. It's nonstop. So a lot of studio, a lot of and those are the things I enjoy, because I'm actually paying it out of pocket, and then when I get that money, I'm like, oh yeah, so I pay like this much on studio time, and I did so yeah, so they won't the IRS so it's kind of cool.
IRS, don't tune in.
Yeah,
please.
stay away from my shit.
So out of you've been around the world. What's your favorite place to vacation at? Like, I mean, outside of home.
I have to say, man, I love Miami. Miami's it's like a second home to me.
Right on.
Yeah, the vibe there is awesome. The beaches are great.
How's the atmosphere with like the partying?
Compared
Like,
to LA.
yeah, because we have our scene out here, and
Yeah, so I would say that Miami's a little bit, because we got our own little thing, and we're away from most of the stuff, but they're as close as it comes to Europe.
right on. Miami.
Yeah,
Right.
or, like if you say, I remember back in 2017, 2016, I was talking about what's that German DJ? I forgot his name now.
Techno Viking.
No.
Hey, I seen that guy on TikTok, bro.
It was Hosh and he's from Dynamic. His label is Dynamic. You know what I'm talking about? No?
Dynamic music.
Dynamic, yeah, Dynamic Music. Hosh and
Dynamic is I thought that
Solomon. Solomon.
was a guy local. But I guess not.
I met him in Ibiza.
Ibiza.
And I was like, holy shit, this is a shit. And when I came over to LA, I'm like, have you guys heard of Solomon? They're like, who's that? But when you're in Miami, they're like, oh yeah, dude, we know this
that's
and
him.
that.
He's the guy.
Yeah, because the thing is that Miami is so close. It's not so far from Europe. Obviously, it's across from the Atlantic, but they usually know what's happening because they're bringing the artists in. So there's more artists from Europe that's coming in from going to Miami and New York. And but again, I'm not shaming LA.
Yeah, because
I love LA.
I think the weather's what brings people to Miami too. You know what I mean? Like LA.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, and then it's also the music conferences. You know, that's also Ultra and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's what's bringing them as well. Yeah.
If you were gonna write a book, what would be the title and what would it be about?
Oh man. I guess I would say the same thing with him. You know, but my title would be probably the Trials and Tribulations, the rise of that, from that, or something like that, from ashes to roses or something. I don't know. You know, whatever.
Yeah, from
you
the
know?
dirt to making to the limelight, bro.
Yeah, you got to make your bones. So yeah, I never thought about that, but it'd be kind of cool to have a movie out like something like that, or a story. You know, talk about as a kid growing up and being around friends that were just very organic, not even thinking about business stuff, and just having fun with music and
being
then all of a
organic.
sudden- yeah, because it wasn't like that back in the days. You know, now it's about how many Spotify listeners you have and how many people you have. But before it was
How
not
many
like that.
followers you have?
Yeah. And you know, certain labels won't even sign your track if you don't have X amount of following. They won't even look at your track.
Sad.
They'll just look at your Instagram.
Got it.
And it's like, well, how are you gonna grow from that? You know, like
They just take you as a
you
number.
literally have to buy followers and fake this shit out to make it, which is like sucks.
Yeah.
It does. The industry like kind of put a fucking dagger in the business.
Yeah,
you know what
but
I mean?
you know what? Like, don't let that be a damper to your.
No,
your
you
craft.
got.
You have
You're
to,
a perfect example of
Pretty much.
pushing.
Yeah. Striving.
Yeah,
You
so,
know what I mean? Like,
so if that makes you angry, use that energy to something positive as making music, and look for another door somewhere else. You know,
there's always other
yes.
avenues.
Because there's people, you know, there's artists, there's labels, and these people are very, you know, too cool for everyone.
Yeah.
But you know,
Smoke cigarettes
if
like
that's
this.
if that's your vibe, cool, whatever. Not shaming that, but if you're more grounded and you're like, you know what, I could fuck with this guy, and he's gonna fuck with me, and he's willing to work with me. So why not give that energy to that person instead?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Some
Exactly.
people. It's funny that
Speaking
this
about
subject
energy,
came. Yeah, right.
Exactly, man. We're hearing it from real people, that's for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, number one rule: you gotta stay grounded. No matter where you come from, you stay grounded. You
And
stay
work.
And humble, bro.
and
Like,
humble and be honest to yourself. If you don't have that, just get the fuck out. Just move. Just get out, because I don't even want you around me.
Yeah.
right? You're a bad vibe.
Yeah. Just
Who
in
wants
general,
bad vibes
What
around
you
me?
represent is like,
Yeah.
not me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel you on that one, brother.
Yeah.
So what's standing in the way of where you want to go from where you are right now?
Absolutely nothing. Just like REZA. Yeah. You make your own bone. You as a businessman, as a music creator, as a hobbyist, everything. It's whatever's stopping you. Don't let it stop you. Just keep going. As many demos you send out, as many as neglect you get from nightclubs. If they don't want to fuck with you, there's other people that will,
Right?
and you just go with that.
It's like my wife told me. She's like, you never know who's watching, so just
No.
That's
just
true.
always give it your best and
100%.
100,
Yeah.
because you never know.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, and this is why we say it's all fun, because it's your fun. And
Yeah, it's your art.
and nobody could take that away from you.
You're the
Exactly.
one
Yeah.
behind the table or behind
Exactly.
the decks for sure.
Yeah.
You're the one putting it in.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man.
I have no more questions.
Yeah,
you're
you've
you're
done,
you're an
yeah, you've broken
inspiration.
that.
Thank you.
Like
Sure.
man, you've. I was gonna ask questions, but you already answered them. So
Oh,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, we
Like,
went through this whole list right here, man.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
for sure. Pretty damn quick.
Frank Nitty, man.
Frank Nitty.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Episode 12.
Right?
Frank
Shout out to
Nitty.
DJ REZA out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DJ REZA
Yeah.
here sticking around, blessing us.
And I'm gonna always say this again. If it wasn't for the Go Venture Saturday night session, guys, like there would be no Frank Nitty. Like straight up. Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Inspiration to
Yeah.
all, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Behind the Headphones, episode 12, coming at you today with our 3 guests, Jose, Reza, and Frank. We'll be back again in 1 month's time. Look out for the flyer coming out in about a week or 2. You'll be excellently surprised on the next 2 guests. Frank,
Thank you.
much love, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah,
See you
let's
then.
go.